pulling back here. I'm moving my body back. So it's actually locked to my body here. All right, sword starts to come over, we match weapons. All right, I draw out to the side, strike gyakute, sword catches it. Sword steps out and starts to come around. I spin and block it from below. Reach up and drop. Get between his hands. That's the place. Yeah. And then step with this foot now up and drop him. All right. Now, as he steps out, right foot, left foot, do the spin. There you go. And now, steps again. You're going to strike to the center. Tool Q strike. Draw it all the way back to Hiki Otoshi Kamai with the open hand. And big finishing strike. All right. And put away. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. This is a pretty complicated piece of work, isn't it? That's the first technique. Actually, the third technique is pretty simple. That's the Seite starts with the third technique of Shindo Musaru Omote. The first technique, you got to think about why do people organize techniques and katas the way they do. And the rule of thumb is that the first technique always teaches the fundamental basics of the system. Seite has a different fundamental basic of the system when it's the same techniques, because the Seite is the set of 12 that were drawn from the 72 techniques of Jodo. Well, why is the first one different? Well, it's because it's simpler. First technique in Seite, third technique in Omote goes like this. That's it. So it's a lot simpler. It's based on the striking movements. You evade, you come around the sword and strike with honte, you attack with the drawing honte, and then you strike with honte. So it's based on the striking and blocking with basically the strike and block being the same thing. Tachi Otoshi, it's got all this complicated hip turning stuff. So what do we do here? Okay, we've done this rotation with the backhand. We've done a forward strike with the backhand. We're shifting our lines. We're doing some strategy here against that sword. It comes in, we turn our hips to the left. We trap. We turn our hips to the right. We do a thrust. And then we finish with basically the haymaker, the finishing most powerful strike in the system. So I think the difference is that Tsuki Zue is a protein bar. It's very simple, it's very to the point. Tachi Otoshi is a country breakfast. It's got everything. It says if you learn all of this stuff, then you've got a good foundation. This is the basic principles that we're working on are richer and more complex and have a lot of cholesterol. So I think that's really if you think about why this is the first technique, it's got all this stuff in it. It's got this strategy. So what's a strategy? What are we talking about? Let me get Dale for a second. Well, the first thing is that I understand sword distance. He understands sword distance. He's going to come in, and I just screwed him up. And I'm sitting here laughing at him because he knows that he can't get to me anymore safely. He could come out of position and off balance and try to wave his sword at me, but he's not going to be able to cut me with power. So he is smart enough to say that we'll just start a gentleman's duel here. Well, I'm not interested in gentleman's duels. Okay, I've got to think about how do I attack the sword. Well, when I do this, he doesn't follow me. What's that about? He's saying, here, give you a free shot. Bam. Okay, when you take that, a little bit of a step back. Yeah, just a little step back. And so this is a trap, as the calamari guy said, who is the guy in Star Wars? It's a trap. It is. It's a trap. Because, who's that? Admiral Akbar. If I do this and he follows me, well, I might reset and do something else. I might strike the sword. I don't know. But I'm not going to jump into it. He knows that I'm going to try to attack him and get around the sword. He's confident. Swords are better. Swords have points and edges, and they're made of steel. So, you know, they're very macho. So when I do this, he says, guess what? I'm going to give you this shot. Oh, he closed it. Right after I went for the bait, he closed it. What's he going to do now? He's going to come off and cut me. Oh, geez. Because in order for me to attack him, I had to leave myself open. Okay, so he comes off and I close that gap. Now we're off to the races. Now we're in the body control portion. And I've turned my body. I drop in here and lock him in. I'm in control at this point. I'm going to chase him. If he doesn't move back, I'll pop him in the chin. But he moves back. I come all the way here. I hit him again, and I hit him again. And he says, okay, okay, that's enough. And the okay, okay, that's enough is a surrender from the sword, and it consists of that. That's all. Watch for it, because if someone's using a sword and their hands are slack, they aren't in a cutting position. They have to reacquire the sword in order to do something with it. So you can watch someone if they're kind of holding it real loose. Now they can do that in the middle of a cut, but they can't cut from here. Not from here. I would have to reacquire that sword to try to cut. So when you see this wrist or this wrist kind of go slack, untie the wrist. That's actually a surrender. Sometimes you'll see someone do something like this. Say, look, see, I've surrendered. My hand's totally screwed up. I really can't. That's kind of melodramatic. I mean, another thing that you'll see, let me borrow the sword for a second, is let's say I'm in this position. That's a cutting position, right? That's not. That's not. If I'm here, see, it's going to drop. It's going to come a little bit offline. So that's really what all you're looking for is a mutual understanding that that swordsman is done and is going to go home and be a nice, nice peaceful samurai for a while. Okay. Tell you what, I'd like to go through that again with everybody. So, do you guys want to do some stick? Do we have any more people that want to do the sword side? Why don't you come up, do the sword side? You come up, we'll swap you guys out. Any more sword guys here? Okay. Dale, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. All right. So let me do a little briefer because I want to make sure we got. I don't want to spend too much time running back and forth with swords, but on the sword side, this is a little warped. This is our basic hasso kamae. If you notice, what's happened is my hands are in cutting position. This is called stopped position. If you look at my wrist, this is called a dead hand, cutting hand, stopped hand. So it's in a forward cutting position. If I put my arm out at full extension, oddly enough, full extension gives, with the angle of the sword and the angle of my wrist, puts it right on the attack point. So I have both hands locked in. When I step up here, I'm actually going to cut my way into the kamae. The tsubai is near my mouth. The bottom hand is near the center of my chest. My left foot's forward. This is Jodan. So as I come forward, I bring the sword through Jodan. Hold this position. Very similar to the Jo position. It's out in front of my center. All right. Then if I bring it back up to Jodan, it will be here what I'm going to do is, as that strike comes into the side, I step diagonally and I turn my Jodan so that I catch the incoming strike. Then with my left foot, I'm going to cut here. Then I'm trapped. Then I step with my back heel, turning towards my enemy. The thrust comes, attack comes to the eyes. Why do I not change feet? If I change feet, I'm changing the kata. I'm actually, here I'm just going, whoa, okay, I'm done, I'm done. If I start doing this business, then I could be planning another attack. I can change my responses. So once I'm in that withdrawal position, I just keep my posture. And that's through any kata that we do. All right? Okay, let's together. First one. Good. Need a Joe. First Joe person. Yeah, come on up. Volunteer. All right. So from here, Tachi Otoshi, yoi. Okay. Take about a half step back, please. There you go. Hajime. So left, right, left. I'm going to stretch that distance. I'm going to match weapons. Then Joe side. Step off the line. Go for the trap. You know it's a trap. He knows it's a trap. What? Wap is not a proper kiai. Then swords comes around to attack. Bring it up and come underneath his wrists. Close to, look at this. More closer to your head. No. Yeah, there you go. Then stand up, drop it into the center. Mobat under. Here. He steps off. 1, 2, spin that stick, and he's going to take another step back. Hold, follow him, drop him into his back leg. Bring it back to Hiki Otoshi Kamai, and big strike. Hey, Yame. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swordsman withdraws, Joe withdraws. Hi, Sugi. Next. Age before beauty. All right. Okay, Joe side. Tachi Otoshi, yoi. Hajime. 1. Match the weapons. There you go. Yep. Yeah, I don't want that much room. I want to keep him away from me. I don't want to crowd that sword. All right, be careful with each other. Please see Joe right there. All right, Joe, off the line. Prepare and side strike. Here, so from here, 1, 2, and big step. You missed him. He's here. This is your target. You're trying to put this stick here. So let me show you that step. Chotomate. So I've got him at eye level here. Notice that if I match weapons with him up here, I'm really kind of close to him. So I'm going to match weapons with him here. All right. 1, 2. Okay. That's where you put it. 1, 2. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Then rest of the kata. Come on. This side. Hold. Hey. Okay. Go ahead, please. Okay, pick up. Yeah, please pick up the kata with it. Let's see. Bigger. So watch.
You have small technique.
No. Windmill. Make a windmill out of that back arm, front arm. Hands come together. Ki Kentai. Hold everything together. Big and yes. Now, do you notice how that you had a little bit of this going?
Yeah.
Zap. Just put it right in his eye. All right. This foot needs to be further back. That's one problem here. Look at this. This is what you're doing. What? Where are you at? You're at the finish. Zap. Oops. Here. Don't bend when you do this. Just because remember, you might have to pop him and get out of there. I don't trust him. Do you trust him? He don't look trustworthy. He's smirking.
I just want to kill you.
That's right. Okay. Step off. Can't do it now. Now you can spin it over. Zap. Oh. Come back here. No, don't back up. Just stick there. I gained some ground. I ain't giving it up. Come back all the way. Here. Elbow in. No. Pop him in the head. Yeah, he's going to get out of the way. Yeah, very good. And then put away is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, very good, very good. All right, next. Hey, Tachi Otoshi, yoi. Hajime. Ich, ni, san, shi. Attack. Roll, roll. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Look at him though. Okay. Yeah. And your feet are not quite right. From here, watch my feet.
Okay.
Hey! Left foot attack. There you go. And toe. You got to get the end of that stick, and you got to stand up straight. Yeah. And here, in this position, your feet would be. Watch my feet. So go ahead and switch your feet. There you go. Now up and drop. He's going to come off that stick, trying to get his distance, and as he goes, there you go. Whoa. Look my hands. I switched my hands. Pull back. Switch my hands again. All the way to the end. All the way. Pinky's on the end. Pinky is touching the end of that stick. Yeah. That's the idea. Very good. And put away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey. And this will come with some experience, but if I'm at this distance and I have my hand out, he's going to cut my hand off. Go ahead and drop the sword down. Even here, the reason I pull my hand back is because I want to be about this distance. What is the distance of this strike? Okay, why did I just knock him in the center? I knocked him to set up the strike. Let me get you over here. So we're in this position, okay? So right now I can hit him in the face pretty good, okay? But he starts to get off of this stick. Okay, right here I might just poke him like that. Why do I got to turn the stick over? Can't poke him like that. Look where he is. Oh, now I can poke him. Okay, but let's say I have him right here. This is way too close. I want you to look at where this strike goes. From here I could punch him in the face and he could skewer me, because if he lifts the sword I'm in trouble. He hadn't untied the wrist yet. He's still in the fight. So when I do this poke, look what I did. I put him right in the path of that stick. Okay? So you'll see that in a lot of kata. And it's similar to somebody who's trying to punch you and does this. I pulled you right to where I want to put you where I can hit you. Okay? Aikido people don't put up with that, and Judo people say, "Oh, you want to grab me? Great, let's go." because we like to work outside or inside. In Jodo, we do the same thing. We're either going to be inside their range or we're going to be outside their range. So most of this kata is done outside. Except for this. I'm way inside, right? Now we're at an even range. When he starts to come off of that range is when I say, hi there. Now you're in place for this, and that puts you in place for that. So that becomes a domino effect. Once the swordsman starts getting back on his heels, he can't recover because we're not going to let him. Right? But you have to be conscious of what the distance is for the strike. It's not a good idea to say, oh, well, I'll just do a real short strike. If I'm here and I have to strike him, I'm not even going to move my feet because that fixes my distance. Okay? But I don't want to do that. For one thing, what if he brings the sword up when I'm doing, I might be in bad trouble. So here, I would do something different. But what I'm doing here is that. Hey! And I want you to show you something. I mentioned in the timing of the stick that we do this. We bring it up and over and stretch out the full length of our body. Why do I do that? Okay, if I start here going forwards, just bring the stick right up in the center. I have the stick behind me. Okay, again, bring the sword up. So what I'm doing is I'm actually getting the stick to about here before I strike, so that if he does something fishy, I've already got that in front of me. Okay, so that's the rationale. Let's do one more. Whoever's up, come and grab your weapon. I want everybody to take a look at this, and we're going to stop. Somebody, if you're in the group and you think that he's too close and the sword's going to get him, just say, stop. We could do it in Japanese. Mate or something like that. But, let's begin. Hey? Hajime. On and crossed over. Good. Look good distance. Let's come and strike the head. Step forward and in. Strike. Did you reach the head? Don't think you quite reached the head there. Now, let's fix this and get it. There, now you're in place. Good. Distance is fixed. Good. Sword is going to come around aim for that neck. Protect your head. Attack. Make sure, down there, make sure you have your pinky on the end of the jo. Pinky all the way on the end of the jo. Nobody likes to have a short stick. This is also going to let you bring that hand back. Bring this up. There.
Angled, okay, yes.
Yeah, there. That position. Okay. So now you've got this position. Sword starts to withdraw and you follow and pin. Great. Now, I want you to look at this. Dame, why is this bad? You could hold him there. Why give up a foot of your stick? Come away. Oh, look at that. There you are. Yeah, so now you're balance. Huh? Am I taking his balance? Yeah, just a little. Yeah. Okay. So, swordsman starts to come off that stick, backs up, takes a step back. On his second step, where are you and where are you with that stick? So you're here. From this position, you were here. Open that back hand, spin it around. Also, get the stick out there and then thrust. Good. He's off the end of the stick, about a step past the end of that stick. Draw back. Okay, I think you probably wanted to push him about there. Now, up with that hand. Yeah, and down with the elbow. So, there you go. Hey, now, final strike. Big stretch and attack. Now, at the end of that, you shouldn't be leaning. So here, Watch. Yeah, okay. Now, swordsman unties the wrists, draw straight back, keep it on his eyes, don't trust him, drop it down. This is also a trap, isn't it? So this hand comes straight to that thigh. There you go. This is also a trap. I'm giving him the target again. I'm saying, here, get me. Okay, you might be sincere about backing up. Turn your right hand over, sheathe the weapon. Okay, so I think everyone did pretty well. So that's the idea of distance and making sure that you've got enough room to do your technique. So the idea is use all of the jo. So if I'm, go ahead and bring up to, if I'm in this position here, look where the end of the jo is. It's right there. I'll do some tai tomorrow. There's a good correction I want to put on that. When I'm here, this position, if I'm here, he can hit me. He can grab my arms. He can attack with a foot sweep. People know judo, so I want to be here. I want to be outside of the range of his feet in order to do this trap. I don't want to give up length of my jo. That's why it's this length, so that I can keep the sword right at the edge where he thinks he can do something but he can't. All right, keeping someone targeted here, not here. Look at the difference. All I did was project out from my center. Okay, so let's go ahead and if you have the sword, grab yourself a jo. Let's not have the swords down. Let's go ahead and put them up in the rack and get a jo. One more. Just going to put that over there. All right. You need jo?
Yes.
And actually, it's a little past. Let's go ahead and Seite, straighten up the lines. Soon I'll kamai here. Okay. Saya jo. Okay. Tagaini. Right. In the left hand, Tai Suyoi. Okay. Shomen ni. Right. All right. Hey, Gokuro sama deshita. Thank you very much for your hard work today.